I have parked the car on the other side of the river, and now it's time to walk to the old center of Padua, Italy. According to a tradition, the city of Padua was founded in 1183 BC by a Trojan prince, so that would make it over 3,200 years old, I think. And today, over 200,000 people live here, many of them students. They say that in Padua's old town there are arcaded streets, historical buildings, and many cafes frequented by students, locals, and visitors. And this is City Hall or municipal building. It is the main entrance right here. It consists of a series of buildings, and one of them is this 16th century Palazzo Moroni, which gives its name to the whole complex. And for being hundreds of years old, the building looks amazing. But what is really interesting here is the Padua University, the fifth oldest university in the world in continuous operation, awarded the first degree in the world to a woman in 1678. That's a pretty long time ago. And the word university, do you know how it came to be? Well, it's derived from the Latin sentence Universitas Magistrorum et Scholarium, which approximately means a community of teachers and scholars. The university building here was built on the site of a hotel, which the ruler of Padua presented to a butcher for the meat that he supplied in 1405 during the siege of the city. In 1539, the building became the property of the university. From the 16th century, the old courtyard, the pulpit, which is called the pulpit of Galileo Galilei, since he could lecture from it, and the world's first anatomical theater have been preserved. And maybe you remember from high school that Galileo Galilei was an Italian astronomer, physicist, and engineer. Galileo has been also called the father of observational astronomy, modern era classical physics, the scientific method, and modern science in general. During his stay in Padua from 1592 to 1610, Galileo Galilei was a lecturer of mathematics at the university here. And because he believed that Earth and the other planets are orbiting around the sun, he got into a conflict with Catholic Church, with Catholic teachings, and he was tried by the Inquisition in 1633 and found vehemently suspect of heresy and forced to recant. And he spent the rest of his life under house arrest, where he remained until his death in 1642. So, yeah, that was tough. The Church of San Canziano was mentioned in the city chronicles already 1,000 years ago, and the church was unfortunately damaged in the 12th century, first by an earthquake and then by a terrible fire, and its reconstruction and expansion were completed only in 1617. And right around the corner is Palazzo della Ragione, and it separates two city squares, Piazza della Erbe from Piazza della Frutta, fruit. For centuries, these twin squares have been the heart of the city, although they were said to have been marketplaces dating back to ancient Rome. The squares adopted their present appearance in 10th and 11th centuries. The Palazzo della Regione itself was constructed in the 13th century and housed indoor merchants as it does today, alongside those that set up their stalls on the squares. On the first floor, there were trading shops. On the second, offices, and on the third, the court. After a fire in 1412, a wooden ceiling was built and it has survived to this day. The lower floor is still completely occupied by retail shops. You can go right through under the building, kind of, and from the side of the complex of palaces, they arrange an extensive market. And when you walk around, you can pretty much see what they sell: wine, meat, ham, and sausages, and great many choices of fruit and vegetables being brought to the city from the surrounding areas. And pretty much most of what they sell is locally grown and produced. And of course, you can stop and have a lunch or dinner because there are restaurants around the squares and you can just enjoy people watching and have a relaxing time. So I think this will be the end for today. Hope you found it interesting. Thank you very much for your time and goodbye.